name is Donatella and we built a guest house at the back of our London home. We have some new guests coming to check in today, so come with me as I go to do a turnover. The last guest to check out left 2 days ago, but it's been quite a busy week with Christmas parties and other Christmas festivities, so the turnover was left to today. We have some people checking in later, so I wanted to wake up nice and early to make sure I could get this done in good time. The last guest to check out came with a big white dog, so I knew that my turnover was going to be a bit longer today because it takes quite a while to get rid of all the dog hair. I started off today's turnover with the kitchen because the previous guest had used the kitchen quite a lot, which I love to see. I've had a few people ask questions about if the guest house needs its own address. In theory, we could apply to the council for it to have its own address, but actually it makes no difference for us and it would actually mean having to pay an extra council tax. Whereas at the moment our guest house is on our land with the entrance coming in from our garden, which initially means it's an outhouse. There would be no benefit to us getting its own address unless we wanted to sell it, which I don't think we will ever do. I keep forgetting to buy cleaning gloves, so I try and clean the toilet by touching it as little as possible. December is looking really good for bookings. January, on the other hand, is looking a little bit dry right now, but of course January itself is just a very poor month for a lot of people, and I don't think people will travel much in January either. We have put a minimum 2-night stay requirement for people who do want to stay in the guest house, just because doing a turnover one day after the other would just be really intense. I do all the turnovers at the moment, but we are looking for a third-party cleaner to be able to do turnovers for us. But even when we find that person, I think we will still have it as a minimum 2-night stay. I had washed and dried all the linen from the previous guest, so I just brought that out, folded it and put that away as well. I don't know how to fold a fitted sheet, but that's as good as it's getting. In the last 3 months as being host, there have been quite a few things that have either gone missing or have been broken from other guests. What I do find interesting is it tends to be very 50-50 on guests who will message us to tell us that they've broken something and ones who won't and just put it in the bin. Personally, for me, if I was a guest somewhere and I broke something, I would message the host to let them know, but honestly, it's one of those situations where it's really not a big deal. On this turnover, I found that there were 2 water glasses missing and also 2 towels. I had washed the big towels, but I wasn't able to find the 2 hand towels. Again, this isn't really a big deal, but it would be nice to know if things do happen, just because if we know beforehand, it means that we can go and replace those things so that it doesn't affect anything for future guests that are checking in. The people coming today are also coming with a dog, but I believe the dog that they're coming with is quite small. Before I do a turnover, I go back and read the messages of the person who's checking in, and today, because they're coming with a dog, I made sure that I put dark bedding on. Everyone has their own preferences, and in our photos, people can see that we have patterned bedding and no one has ever complained.